Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to a brand new Division video. What I guess today is a video I've been planning for making for a long time. Unfortunately, I didn't want to make this because I didn't really have a general idea of what I wanted to kind of say and like put it together. So after a few days of kind of thinking about it, I decided to make this video and pretty much sit down and talk to you guys as open as possible. Today's video we'll be talking about the Division and pretty much how it is right now. Now I know yesterday and like 2 days ago a couple of YouTubers made videos on the Division pretty much just talking about how the game is right now, and honestly if you guys want to check that out I will leave the links in the description below. Anyways, I decided to make a video on it as well and pretty much give you guys my side of how I feel about the game as of right now, because I've been playing the game for a long time. I've been playing the game since the beta came out, so it's not like I just hopped on the game and started playing it. I've been playing it for a long time. So I'm pretty familiar with the ups and downs of the game that happen pretty much every single patch. So if you guys do enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new so you are notified when I upload new videos. And the most important thing, let me know in the comment section below how you feel about the game right now. If you think it's really declining, or if you think it's just in that state where, once a patch comes out, it's pretty much that dry middle part before the next patch comes out. So let me know how you guys feel about that. Anyways, today I decided to make this video because in my honest opinion, the game is really dry and just really dull at this moment. Don't get me wrong, this has happened before. I'm pretty sure between patch 1.4 and patch 1.5, when 1.4 came out and there was pretty much that dry area in the middle between patch 1.5. The game kind of felt the same way, to be honest. It felt boring, it felt really repetitive, it felt like there was really nothing to do. And in my opinion, the same thing is happening in 1.6, not only because we are at that dry spot between patches, but also the year 2 content that was announced. A lot of people are not happy with it, a lot of people kind of quit the game or just are taking a long break from it. So as I said in the beginning, I kind of sat down and thought about what could change in the game and what can make players kind of stay on the game between that dry spot, and what can the developers do to pretty much keep the game fresh every single time, not only just when they release a patch or a DLC, but pretty much every single day or every single week you get on the game. So the first thing in my opinion that they should add is, you guys know how you get sealed caches from literally everything? For example, if you're doing the daily challenges. Now what I mean by that is those daily challenges that pretty much tell you to kill like 3 elites or like collect 30 crafting materials or collect 30 electronics. Like I'm talking about those daily missions or daily challenges, I guess you could say. The one thing I would like to see them change is, instead of you getting sealed caches for that, or even something like the weekly assignments, instead of you getting sealed caches from there, because keep in mind you get sealed caches from literally everywhere. When you're playing Last Stand, you get sealed caches. Whenever you're playing, just missions, you get a lot of sealed caches. You get proficiency sealed caches. You get these and that, and pretty much you get sealed caches everywhere. So in my opinion, if a person plays the game a lot, they're pretty much stacked on gear. Like I pretty much have everything in the game. Now yes, I could still get better weapons with better talents, or yes, I could still get better gear with better attributes and better stats on it. But besides that, I'm pretty sure I have every single thing in the game, and this is not just me, this is pretty much for anyone that plays the Division 1 or 2 hours a day for the past couple of months. In that time, you would acquire pretty much everything in the game, and it just gets repetitive whenever you get on every single day, and you just, if you want to play Last Stand, okay, play Last Stand. Once you hit level 40, there's pretty much nothing you can do instead of just playing Last Stand just for the sealed caches or just because you enjoy the PvP aspect. Same thing with the Dark Zone. The only problem with the Dark Zone, at least for Xbox, it's really dead. There's barely anyone you will find, so even if you want to go PvP in the Dark Zone, you won't really find anyone that easy. So the only thing you can do is play the Last Stand, but you really don't get anything from it except sealed caches at the end of the match. So as I said, once you hit level 40, there's really no point of playing it. Now in my opinion, if they added something like a challenge board, something, if you guys ever played Destiny pretty much has a bounty board in a tower where every single day the bounties reset and they have like different PvP or PvE bounties that players can pick up. In my opinion, if they had something like that in the Division, it would keep players coming back every single day, even if it's for an hour, even if it's for 2 hours. The players will still come back and kind of keep a interaction between the game and the player, if you guys know what I mean. So if they added something like that, it would be really cool. They could just place it in a terminal or whatever. But pretty much on that challenge board, it will be something like bounties. So you go one day and you pick up 5 bounties for PvP or PvE, and for example they say like get 15 headshots with a marksman rifle in last stand, or get 15 headshots with a submachine gun, and instead of getting sealed caches from completing those bounties, you would get something like maybe a weapon skin, a brand new weapon skin. Instead of buying it from the premium vendor, instead of just, somehow finding it, you would get a special one just from completing those bounties. Or even better, if they implemented a option where you could have a lot more skins on your gear, for example like your gloves or your chest piece or anything like that, and you would get character skins from completing those bounties instead of buying them, like I said, from the premium vendor. I feel like that would keep the players coming back every single day. Although it might be for like an hour or two, they would be still coming back. The final thing I thought about that would make this game a lot more interesting is if they added weapon variants. Now what I mean by that is weapon variants that you can only get from Incursions. Once again, I'm referring back to Destiny. If you guys played that game, you guys know how you do a raid and you get a specific weapon. For example, if you're doing like the first raid, there's a specific set of guns you get from that raid from Destiny. But in the Division, when you do an Incursion, the only thing you pretty much get is a bunch of sealed caches and a bunch of Phoenix credits and credits. Now instead of the game dropping a exotic sealed cache and like some weapon and gear sealed caches in an Incursion, if they made it where every single time you do an Incursion and pretty much complete it on like challenging or better, you would be guaranteed of getting a specific exotic weapon or gear piece. So if you do Clear Sky, for example, you'll be guaranteed a exotic bullfrog, and you would be guaranteed a bliss holster. So instead of just people farming for sealed caches, yes, you could probably still get it in sealed caches, but it will be a very, very, very small chance. And yes, in my opinion, those exotic caches are a good idea because players can still farm legendary missions or can still go in the dark zone and get the supply drops and have a chance, a tiny chance, of getting that exotic. But in my opinion, if the main way was to get exotics through Incursions and farming Incursions over and over and over again, to get a God Roll Bullfrog or to get a God Roll Bliss Holster, that would make the game a little bit more interesting, and that would make a lot more people grind PvE. Not only for Phoenix credits, the gear, or the weapons they need, but they would also have to grind the Incursion, or maybe not even the Incursion if they even implemented some new missions that specifically drop like the Bullfrog, or they specifically drop the MDR, or the Pharaoh's Mask, or the Barrett's chest piece. Like I know Lexington Center does that, but it's a small chance. But if they made a mission that's way harder, that's why I picked the Incursions, because they're pretty long and they are pretty difficult if you do them on like heroic. So if you were guaranteed an exotic drop from that, I feel like a lot more players will be coming back, and those hardcore players that are trying to get a God Roll Bullfrog or are trying to get a God Roll Barrett's chest piece would grind that a lot. But that pretty much concludes the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. In the comment section below, let me know if you disagree or agree with some of the, I guess, suggestions I put out in this video. Just let me know how you guys feel about it, if you think it would work, if you think it would just be, another bust to this game. But once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next